Hello. I'm just trying to clean off my crystal while I'm doing this. But I also hope that my my sound is doing what it's supposed to. But anyway, I'm going to do this on Halloween. I think it's appropriate. I was thinking about doing it live, but um I don't feel like it. So yeah. This is gonna be a totally different video altogether from all the ones that I've done before. So if you're just here for like a tarot video, this is Tarot by Tieya, you can just pop over to my channel, or I'll put a card up here in the little thing. You just tickle it, and it'll open up for you. And it might take you to either the channel page or it'll take you to a video. But today I'm talking about the top 5 most paranormal things that have ever happened to me. I want my hair is so weird. I don't like it. Gotta redo it. Anyway, yes, this is gonna be one of those messy videos. So just buckle in. Um, if you guys would mind liking the video, and if you also wouldn't mind subscribing, pushing that little notification bell. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the video. So I'm gonna be looking at my phone down here because I've written these things down so I don't ramble too much. So I'm gonna start with the least paranormal thing. I don't know. Maybe it is the most paranormal, least paranormal. To me, it was the least paranormal one. So I was living on this street called Railroad Street in this little town in North Carolina, and I went outside. It had snowed, so I wanted to go see the snow, and I had gone out the front door, down the porch, across the yard to the railroad tracks, which like go right across the street. So the railroad tracks, the road, and then like the yard, right? So I had gone out and I had like between $5 and $20 in my pocket. I can't remember how much it was. Um, and I just went outside, wandered up the tracks a little bit, came back, and then I went back inside the house. My money was gone. I was not amused. Um, and I walked around the house and I was looking everywhere that I could possibly have dropped it because I knew I had it before I went outside. Um, and then I was like, all right, I don't know what's going on here, but I need whatever has taken my money to return my money. And then I went outside and I was like, maybe I lost it on the train tracks, right? So I'll go back and I'll look up the train tracks and see if I left it there. And I went outside down the porch, and like at the end of the porch, I saw my money sitting there. There was no extra snow on it. It didn't look like it had been stepped on. It just looked like, it was there. And the strange thing about it was I was like, whatever took it needs to put it back. And when I went outside, it was in the most obvious place that it could be when you go outside. It's like it was, just sitting there on the ground, on top of the snow, undisturbed. And I was just like, okay. So you guys tell me, did fairies take my money? Maybe I was just careless. The next one I'm going to talk about is a little bit spookier. Um, when I was like 18 years old, one of my friends needed some help with his father, and his father was in Michigan. Now, at the time, I was a CNA. So I was like, okay, I can come up there until, you guys find somebody more permanent who is in the state, right? So he bought a ticket, a bus ticket for me, and I went up to Michigan, and I was just kind of waiting to see like what they needed me to do, how they needed me to do it, and all this stuff, right? He got me a hotel room, and I was in the hotel room. And at the time, I was trying to get into meditation. I've been kind of in the spiritual realm for a while, so I ended up getting into meditation when I was 16, maybe. And it's like every time I try to meditate, I end up like having something else happen, like something that actually is paranormal happen. This particular time, I was in bed. I think it was like just after I awakened, and I was there alone. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and try and do, a few deep breaths and relax. And I'd gotten myself into a state where it's not like sleep paralysis, but it's kind of like sleep paralysis, where I know I can move my limbs, but I know that my limbs are also extremely relaxed. I don't want to move them. So I was kind of there in that state, right? My eyes were closed, and I feel someone sit next to me on the bed. So I'm like, in my mind, like, okay, what is going on? And then the person shifts, and I'm like, what is this? So I open my eyes and I sit up, and there's nobody there. And I'm like, WTF, man. Um, okay. That was not the first time that something has touched me while I was meditating. The next time, like sometimes things happen to me while I'm sleeping. I'll hear people like calling my name before I go to sleep. Um, Maybe that's just a hallucination. I don't know. But there have been times where I've been asleep and something will just like brush my hands, and I'm like, what is this? Open my eyes, there's nothing there. Sometimes I feel like there's a presence standing behind me. I look like while I'm trying to go to sleep, and I look back over and there's nothing there. But anyway, those are the first two. The next one also happened when I was meditating, and this one is like one of the creepiest ones. Okay, this one is one of the creepiest, scariest ones that kind of pushed me out of meditating, because apparently I'm susceptible to spirits while I'm meditating, right? So back on Railroad Street, the old house that was there, it used to be like a two story. It was like an old house. Okay, old. Um, I was told that it was built before 1900, maybe before the Civil War. In this little town, there's a Civil War. It's a Confederate, what's it called? A Confederate graveyard. Just up, you like walk off the street, you make a right, you make a left, and there's a Confederate graveyard right there, right? So the old house that used to be there burnt down, unfortunately. Um, but the houses that were there, because there's a white house up the street that was old as the house that we were in, and there was a one up the street, excuse me, that was there were rumors that house was a Civil War hospital, and our house, it was also rumored to have housed the soldiers at one point, right? So that's kind of the history to give you some context about what I'm getting ready to say. So I was in the living room of the new trailer that got the trailer that had gotten put there, right? And I was meditating on the floor. I was sitting like, cross-legged on the floor, focused, and I got back into that same state that I was in Michigan. And I I saw a man with his head, like he had bandages around his head, and he was sitting in the front room where the parlor used to be, and he was just like kind of hanging over the side of his bed, um, and he was screaming, "Help me!" And at the time, I didn't know anything about working with spirits. I didn't know anything about about helping them move on. And I guess since he saw me or perceived that I was there, he figured that I could help him, and I just couldn't. I didn't know how. So I stopped meditating after that. Um, the same room, though. This is the next one. The same room. My mom and my stepdad used to like sleep in there, and this one is actually verified because my mother was there with me. The other ones, me, are verified, but nobody else was there but me. So we were standing outside of her bedroom in the like living room. Um, we were just talking. She's over here. I'm over here. talking to each other. The room is dark, so there's nobody in there. We know nobody's in there, right? So somebody calls her name. Spooky stuff happens to my mom too. Um, and I look at her. I said, "Did you hear that?" She was like, "Yeah." Did you? What did you call? What do you know? I know you didn't call me. You're standing right here looking at me. So like, did I hallucinate? Like, what's going on? Are we having a collective hallucination right now? Um, we turn the light on, look in the room. There's nobody in there. We go outside, look out the window. There's nobody there. We go through the house and look around. There's nobody there. And we're like, WTF, man? So that that kind of helped me feel like I'm not crazy because sometimes I also hear my name. Especially in that house, I will hear my name. I think that house is just haunted. You know, my my great grandmother's husband died in the old house that was there as well. But he died of, I think he drunk himself to death. I think he died of cirrhosis of the liver. But that's number three. So this one is also weird. And it's also confirmed because my ex husband was there with me. We were out, my mom had some property out in North Carolina somewhere. And we were out there just looking at it because I wanted to buy it from her. At the time. And we go out to it's like back in the woods, like down a dirt path. I remember one time it snowed like for days, and we were trapped down there because the path was so um, unpassable, impassable. And I we were just walking around the yard because it had been surveyed. The property had been surveyed before, and we were trying to see you know, what was there, how big the trees were, just kind of trying to see because we had people down there also stealing stuff. So we went down to check and see if there had been anything else stolen. Um, and we started down one side, and it was like six acres, right? And we started on one side, went down the path, along the wood line, went down the back side, and then we thought we were coming down and around the other side because there was two driveways, and we were trying to we thought that we'd come down where the other driveway was, and we ended up coming out somewhere else. Now you could just say my navigational skills are crap. You could just say maybe we just took a wrong turn, but it's kind of hard to take a wrong turn because we had landmarks to show us where we were. And I grew up down there, so I kind of knew where I was, or I thought I did. Um, but we ended up kind of where we started, and it was weird because we we kind of knew, it's not very big property. We kind of knew where we should be, but we weren't there. And the weirdness comes in when we go back and we end up somewhere else again, and we're like, did we step in a time portal? It's or some kind of location portal or something. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't feel disoriented or anything. I felt like I knew where I was the entire time, but logically we should have come out somewhere else. Like not where we came out. We should have come out where we thought we were going to be. And it happened twice and it was weird. So to me that's paranormal. Like I think we slipped into a freaking portal or something. So I think that was four. Here's another one. I think it's last year this happened. I was at I was somewhere in Virginia, and I got into the whole dream books where you look at your dreams and you see the symbols in your dreams, and you go into the book and then you find the numbers associated with the dream symbol, and then you use those numbers to play the lottery, right? And I was doing that for a little while, and I dreamed of ticket, a red lottery ticket, and I was like, hmm, I couldn't tell what the ticket was called, but I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna go buy the ticket. I'm gonna go see if I can find the red ticket, and we'll just see what happens, right? I bought like a $20 red ticket. The whole face was red. I think it was a new ticket at the time, and I won. It was like $100, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. Now, you guys tell me, was that a coincidence, or did I dream a winning ticket? It's, I think, the second time that's happened. The first time I think it was a green ticket. So, I did the Michigan ghost, the soldier in the room. Someone called my mom's name, which wasn't me. It was something else, I guess. Um, I found my money in the snow. I believe the fairies just returned it or whatever. I don't know. I feel like it was a fairy or the ghost that was called my mom's name that just took it to fuck with me at the time. Um, I did the time portal one and the dreamed lottery ticket. Here's another one. I like going to GCF, but I don't like going to GCF because some of the stuff there is haunted. Okay. Last two Halloweens ago, I was in GCF looking for a dishwasher from the house that I used to live in. And I passed by this chair. It was kind of like this chair, but it was like a more of like a recliner type chair. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw a man sitting there. And I was passing by, so I was going to say, excuse me. So I turned my head. There was nobody there. And I was like, oh, did I see a ghost? And then as I was walking away, you know, I was kind of keeping an eye on the chair, and he reappeared, just sitting in the chair. Didn't say anything. I don't think he acknowledged that I was there. He was just kind of sitting in the chair, and then, that was it. So, I know these aren't like extreme paranormal things, but I just wanted to share those because it's Halloween and I'm a Halloween person. I like the season. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, comment below. Oh, tell me your paranormal stories. Tell me your paranormal stories. I want to hear them. So, also, please help the channel out by leaving a like and also subscribing, please. Thank you. I love you guys, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.